Stories in today's video. 1. Update. I, 24 meters, cannot stand my boyfriend's roommates, 26F, dog, and I'm trying to understand why and get past it too. My 28F colleague, 30F, didn't invite me to her wedding, and it's completely unraveled our friendship. 3. Update. My 22F former roommate, 30M, is freaking me out. What should I do? Here is the original. My first post didn't get the most attention, but there was been a major recent event that made me think it was time to post an update. His roommate went away for the weekend, Valentine's Day weekend, and it fell on us to take care of the dog. I, obviously, was not too excited to be having to schedule my Valentine's Day weekend around this dog's needs, but was willing to do so to have a weekend alone with my boyfriend. Well, much to my surprise, the dog is a total sweetheart. When her owner is not around, she barely raises her voice, sleeps most of the day, and is extremely easy to care for. It would appear that it is really stuff like the incessant baby talking that actually bothers me, not the dog itself. Through observation, as well, I've realized that the dog only barks and whines because she knows she'll get attention or food from her owner whenever she wants. My boyfriend has very cleverly trained the dog to know that doesn't work on anyone else. So no begging from us. So now I ignore the roommate's dealings with the dog, love the dog herself, and let my boyfriend's roommate deal with the worst parts of owning an old dog and just enjoy a buddy to watch TV with when she's not around. Win-win. Thank you everyone for all the great advice. TL, Dr. Dog doesn't *CK. K. One of my work colleagues is a lifelong friend of mine. We lived on the same street growing up, went to the same school, and when I needed a job after graduating university, she made me aware of an opening at the company she worked at. I applied, got the job, and it's been quite a few years since and we still work together. It's a pretty small company, and quite male-dominated, so after we started working together we became really close. We take all our lunches together, we regularly stop by each other's desks for a chat, and we quickly became known round the office as inseparable. A year ago she got engaged to her long-term partner, and I was ecstatic for her. She had a really tough time a couple of years ago, 2 family deaths close together, and I did everything I could to be a good friend to her while she was in the worst stages of grieving. She cried with me daily for weeks and I made sure she knew I was always available to listen. I also took about a third of her workload off her voluntarily, so she could take days off when she needed to without stressing about her work building up. So now that life has gotten better for her and she's always smiling and excited, it's really nice to see. Ever since she got engaged, as expected, she's talked a lot about wedding plans, especially at our lunches. I know basically every detail. When she booked her venue she was really excited, but she refused to tell me where it was going to be, saying that she wanted it to be a surprise when the invitations came out. The wedding is 2 weeks away now, and I've long since stopped waiting for my invitation to show up. I know when they were sent because she told me all about delivering them, and shows me every day the gifts people have started to buy off their registry. I feel silly for saying it, but the more I think about it, the more hurt I feel that I haven't been included. It's a big wedding, and she has invited some other people from work that I didn't know she was even close to. She hasn't mentioned the reason why I'm not invited, and at this point I feel too awkward to ask. I guess it's just a slap in the face because I really thought we were close, and now I'm realizing that maybe we're not. The trouble is, since all this I've started to really examine our friendship, and I'm wondering if she even cares about me at all. I can think of 100 examples of where I've helped her work through decisions, listened to her vent, stood up for her when she's had issues with colleagues, etc. Even tons of little things, like if anyone brings in cake and she's out of the office I always save her a slice so she doesn't miss out. But I can't remember a time that she did anything for me in return. Now when she talks to me, I've realized she doesn't even listen to me. When I'm finished talking she just carries on with what she was saying before, almost as if I'd never spoken at all. If we're ever talking about me or something I've been doing, she never has anything to say. She just kind of nods and then switches the conversation back to herself. I'm starting to think she couldn't care less about me. She just likes having someone around who she can talk at, and whoever that person is doesn't really matter to her. I've invested so many years into this friendship, it's really cut me deep. I feel used. It's also made being at work incredibly lonely, because she was my only friend. I've stopped having lunch with her, and any time she tries to chat I politely bring the conversation to a quick end and go back to work. She doesn't appear to have even noticed. I do still wish her well. I'm still glad for her that life has turned around and she's so happy, but I'm a bit lost. I'm not sure if I'm being too harsh because I'm hurt, or if I even have the right to feel hurt in the first place, as I know weddings have a finite number of guests and you have to leave people out that you would invite in an ideal world. But I'm not sure there's any way back from this either. Has anyone else had a similar experience? Am I being unreasonable or overdramatic? Should I just let the dust settle and see how I feel then? Edit 1. Just to clarify things that have been asked a lot or requested to be put in an Edit 1, she hand-delivered the invites to other people at work so I know it hasn't been lost in the post 2. I haven't asked her about it because I'm a total doormat and scared of difficult conversations, and 3. I invited her to my wedding, but that was years ago, so it's possible she thinks things have changed since then. Edit 2. This has got a lot more attention than I expected, and my first ever gold from a kind stranger. Thank you. I have read every single comment. Thank you all so much for taking the time to give me advice. You have given me a lot to think about. Opinion seems to be divided over whether or not I should confront the wedding invitation issue or just let it go. I am definitely going to make sure that it isn't a mistake, but as for getting an explanation why she didn't invite me, I'm undecided. I'm going to have a think about that and the best way to proceed, but your thoughts have all been really helpful. In terms of our friendship in general, I'm not going to be too hasty to write it off. I'm going to try and put my feelings aside and see if I'm right about it being one-sided. If it is, then I will have learned a good life lesson, and if I see it as worth saving, then I'll have to deal with that the best way I can. It does seem the bigger issue here is my non-confrontational approach to my relationships. Some of your comments were hard to read, but only because I know you're right and this is something I have to change. I've withdrawn from friendships before because they've hurt me and I've felt unable to say anything, and that's not really fair. It's a general problem I have with uncomfortable conversations. Whenever I have to have them, I basically descend into a panic, my mouth goes dry, I shake and I can't find the right words to say. If it's a bad enough problem that I can't ask a good friend a simple question, then I can't ignore it anymore and I need to work on this. Thank you for pointing this out to me as a real problem. I'm going to find a way to get better at it. I will post an update of what happens. Thank you again. TLDR, my best work friend didn't invite me to her wedding, and since then I've started to question our entire friendship. Link to previous post. No one asked for an update, but I thought I'd provide a short one. Asterisk asterisk TLDR. I never have to see John again in my entire life. David and I broke up. I moved away and cut off contact with everyone. Also, turns out I'm gay. Life is good now. Asterisk asterisk. Shortly after this post, David and I had a sit-down talk in which I said I was no longer comfortable going over to his place. I showed him this post and how he was getting roasted in the comments. He agreed and started coming over to my place more. However, this became more lax with time and laziness and he started asking me to come over to his house, which I hesitatingly did. Basically, it backslid into how things were before, and he made no real effort to change anything. At no point did David consider moving out, and as far as I know, they're still roommates. It's been a while now, so I honestly can't remember if John ever made an attempt at making an apology, but at any rate he never made an apology I deemed to be genuine and he always made me uneasy. No more serious incidents occurred. John never touched me physically. For this, I feel exceedingly fortunate. A few months after I made that post, I started wanting to move away for various reasons, mostly wanting a change of scenery and culture, and I realized that I didn't consider my relationship valuable enough to make me want to stay. That was over a year ago. We broke up, I moved away, and in quarantine I've reconsidered my sexuality and am now dating a lovely, thoughtful, and supportive woman. My life is much better now and I see that I was allowing myself to be treated in a very horrible and toxic way. I also see that everyone in that house was, in a way, gaslighting me into thinking that John's abuse wasn't so bad in an effort to not rock the boat. No one, at any point, made any effort to stand up for me, including my supposed romantic partner, which, honestly, now disgusts me. I'm not in touch with anyone from that circle anymore and honestly, good riddance. I'm so relieved that I never have to see any of them again. Anyway, despite being in lockdown and living in a deep, existential anxiety, I'm very happy and life is drama-free, aside from the fact that I still have to come out to my family, lol. Thanks everyone for pushing me in the right direction. Edit, I was not expecting this to be W up in the way that it has. David, I know you have a Reddit account, and if you're seeing this, I hope you're doing well. John is hella toxic. Good luck with everything. Edit 2. Seriously, this response is overwhelming. Thank you all so much for your support and well wishes. I hope all of my future coming outs go this well.